Well, I've got a confession to make. I am full on diving in the deep end with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I am so excited for this game, and I have been consuming everything I possibly can. I've watched the trailer, obviously. We posted that video yesterday, but I went through and I was reading all the articles. You guys know certain mediums, certain interviews have little tidbits that are special that other ones don't get, and I've tried to compile a list of everything that I've learned from video interviews, articles, Reddit, stuff like that, and I wanted to make a video about everything that we know so far about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I hope you guys are ready for this. I hope you're at least interested in it, because I'm super psyched for this game, so I hope I'm not making this video for no reason. And we're gonna get into it. So first of all, let's talk about the main character. His name is Eivor. Now, it's spelled E-I-V-O-R, obviously kind of a weird Nordic type name. Not something that we've seen normally. I guess I shouldn't call it weird, but it's not normal in today's culture. So Eivor, E-I-V-O-R, and I say he because that's mainly what we saw in the trailer yesterday, but you can actually choose if you want your main character to be male or female, which is something that we saw in Odyssey, which is kind of cool, I guess. You can decide what you want. Now, in terms of other character customizations, it's not like a full-on build your own character, change all the facial features and stuff like that type of vibe, but there is going to be some customization. You're going to be able to change the hair, the beard, the clothing, the war paint, the tattoos, and some other things. So you really are going to be able to make it your own, but it's also not going to be too crazy, you know what I mean, where it doesn't really make sense. Like, it's all going to kind of tie in nicely. So that sounds pretty good. Now, there is a cloak or a hood in the game, like the assassin's cloak that they pull up over their head. We didn't see that in the actual trailer yesterday, but it is in the game, and you can actively choose to like pull it up and put it down whenever you want, which is kind of cool. Now, in terms of setting of the game, it takes place in Norway and in England, mainly in England though. So you're going to start off the game in Norway, which is where you and your settlement and everything are from, and you're going to realize that due to war and lack of resources and space to expand and stuff like that, like, you've got to go find a new life. You want to go to England, this land of opportunity. It's better farming land and stuff like that, more space for you to be able to spread out. So you go to England to try to find a better life for yourself and your community. And obviously, you're not really welcomed in England. This time period is the 9th century Dark Ages of England, where it's currently split up into 4 different kingdoms. You've got East Anglia, Northumbria, Mercia, and Wessex. And I mean, obviously these guys are all kind of battling against each other, and then they're all going to be battling against you, and you're just not welcome. I mean, you saw in the trailer that the king, that's actually King Arthur, I believe, King Alfred, I think, not Arthur, Alfred, King Alfred, later known as Alfred the Great. He's basically saying, like, we've got to get rid of these guys. We've got to stomp these guys out. So obviously major conflict there. You're going to be fighting against kingdoms. I'm sure you're going to be fighting against other Viking, tribes and stuff like that. Can you call it a tribe? I'm not sure, but lots and lots of conflict. So there are 3 major cities. You've got London, Winchester, and York. And then, of course, there are going to be other villages and settlements and stuff all around, all over the place. It's supposed to be a very, very big map. Now, in terms of your settlement, I talked about that a little bit earlier. So you're going to move from Norway to England, and you're going to set up a new settlement. The settlement's going to serve as your home base, and it's got kind of like a basic base building, kind of feature set that you typically expect from games. Like, you can upgrade certain things to get access to new resources and features, and you can upgrade buildings to get a blacksmith or get a tattoo artist or things like that. So it's kind of basic in that regard, but it's also a lot more than that. Like, it's almost like a living, breathing thing. Like, the things you decide to do and events that happen in game are actually going to affect your settlement. So, like, for example, if you make an alliance you're gonna see those weddings and marriages happening in your settlement. Like, things are gonna change. The people are gonna react to it. If you make these harsh decisions, you're gonna see those changes ripple throughout your community. And even romance is back. Who could forget all the funny romance moments from Odyssey? That's gonna be back in this game. So if you're romancing people, or maybe other villagers and stuff will start romancing with each other, you're gonna see that kind of develop. So the settlement is a living, breathing thing. It's not just like this basic base building thing. It's going to be something that's going to grow and expand with you and react to your decisions, both good and bad. I think there are going to be some decisions where you have to choose, do you want like personal gain, or do you want to do what's right for your settlement, which is going to be kind of cool. Now, on top of that, you've also got your Longship, kind of in the same idea here. So the Longship is going to be like the big Viking ship. It's completely customizable, along with the crew that sails on it with you, and your raid parties and stuff like that. So you're going to be able to choose who you want on it, and I wonder if they're going to have certain abilities and stats and stuff. Could be kind of cool. Now, the thing is naval battle is kind of scaled back. It's not going to be like a, sail around and fire at enemy ships and stuff like that, because Vikings didn't do that. Vikings just got in these things and they sailed across. They used it as travel, and they used it to like storm beaches and castles and forts and stuff like that. So that's what it's going to be used for. It's mainly just a way of moving around. Maybe there'll be a tiny bit of fighting, but it's definitely not going to be like a Black Flag style, sit there and fire cannons and fire, leave flame barrels behind you and all kinds of stuff like that. It's more focused on like the actual physical combat. So that's going to be kind of cool. Now, speaking of combat, this is where it gets insane. So this is kind of like the main focus of the trailer that we saw yesterday. It really highlighted how insane the combat is going to be in this game. And the devs have said that there were three terms. They've used three terms to mention the combat that I really like: brutal, crunchy, and weighty. Brutal, crunchy, and weighty. I'm pretty sure crunchy is my favorite word in there, but basically they just want the battle to be intense. They want you to be able to feel it. And if you want me to be honest, Odyssey didn't really have that. Like, the battle was fluid and I didn't mind it, but you didn't ever really feel like you were really doing anything. And obviously that's going to change here. In the trailer, we saw there's dismemberment, there's decapitation, there's all kinds of spears going through people's bodies, and just absolute insanity. So that's what we're going to see out of the battle in this game. It's going to be so much fun. In terms of weapons, there's going to be all kinds of weapons, including new like maces and stuff, to having balls on the end of sticks and swinging them around, all sorts of cool Viking axes and shields and everything else. You can actually dual wield any weapon in the game. So you can dual axe, you can dual sword, you can even dual shield. That's going to be pretty interesting. We might actually have to check that out. Now, of course, the Hidden Blade is back. We had like the big reveal of the Hidden Blade in the trailer. Huge moment. I freaked out. That was honestly one of the coolest reveals we've seen. So that's going to be in the game, but it's not going to be in from the start. So you're going to kind of start off just as a Viking. Like, that's the main storyline. And then eventually you're going to end up meeting the Hidden Ones and start working with them. And the Hidden Ones are kind of like the assassins before they were assassins, because this takes place way back in the day. So yeah, you're going to meet the Hidden Ones, you're going to get the Hidden Blade, and obviously that's going to be a big deal. Now, all of the gear and weapons and stuff are unique, and they can all be customized and upgraded. So if you wanted to, you could find a set of weapons that you really like at the very start of the game and use them all the way through and just keep upgrading them, so they're going to be able to be used no matter what like level you're at. I don't think there's like an actual leveling system, but obviously the game gets harder as you go along, so you can kind of upgrade your weapons to stay relevant that entire time, which is kind of cool. You do have abilities through like a skill tree type of system, and one of the abilities we actually saw in the trailer, the ability to throw your axe, that's actually a thing. It's an ability you can unlock, which is pretty exciting. Finally, last but not least, for combat, stealth is back. There are going to be some stealth elements, there are stealth abilities you're going to be able to get, and social stealth is back. Being able to blend in, like, obviously you're the head leader, big bad Viking dude, you can kind of blend in and kind of work with some of your fellow settlers to kind of like sneak around and get access, and I don't know, it's going to be kind of cool. It's supposed to be social stealth, but with a twist, so we'll see how that works out. Now, a couple of random things that I had here that I found. The Raven is your new companion, obviously. We saw him in the trailer. It's kind kind of a sign of Odin, and it's like having your eagle. So that thing's it's going to be really useful. It's supposed to be less UI intensive and more just like helpful throughout the game, which is good. And there was like promotional thing from a different country, a game store in a different country, that showed one of the pre-order bonuses was a skin for your Raven. So you're going to be able to put skins on your Raven, which is kind of unique. Also, mini games are going to be back. There are fishing mini games, there are drinking mini games, and there are rap battles. I don't know. We haven't seen gameplay from it, so that's going to be kind of interesting. Last but not least, I had a couple of notes on development. So Ubisoft Montreal is leading the project. The last games they were behind were Origins as well as Black Flag. I loved both of those, so I'm pretty excited about that. And they have 14 additional Ubisoft studios that are helping with the development of this game. That is insane. That is absolutely crazy. You can tell they're really putting a lot behind this, and I've got a feeling it's going to blow people away. I'm really excited for it. Darby McDevitt is in charge of the narrative and the writing on the game. He was also the lead writer for Revelations and for Black Flag, so a lot of people are very excited about that. He did say that dialogue choices are going to be a lot more personality based in this game. So if you look back at Odyssey, it was kind of like it didn't really fit Alexios that well in certain times, and it was like you had three like very canned answers. Like you were going to be funny, you were going to make them angry, or you were going to have some sort of a cocky response. And it just like, it was cool to be able to choose what you wanted to say, but at the same time, you didn't really feel like it had any meaning, and sometimes it just didn't make any sense. So he said that the goal is to have a protagonist that's solid and coherent all the way through. So it's going to make a little bit more sense this time around, which is cool. He also said that this is supposed to be the ultimate grounded Viking fantasy. No other games have really done that yet, and there was an interview that was kind of like relating it to God of War, because God of War is kind of about the Norse mythology and this time period and stuff like that. And God of War definitely focuses more on the mythology and the gods and the powers and the supernatural and stuff like that. This is going to be more grounded. It's going to be available on all platforms and all generations, which is going to be interesting. So you guys know from the trailer, there was Xbox branding before and afterwards. It is going to be on PlayStation as well. So it's going to be on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS4, PS5, and PC. It's going to be on everything, which is pretty cool. And on the Xbox side of things, it is going to be a part of their new, like, what is it, smart delivery, something like that, where it's like if you buy it once, you get it for both. So you can buy it for the Xbox One, and then if you eventually upgrade to the Series X, you're going to be able to carry that over and play it on the Series X. You don't have to buy it a second time, which is pretty nice. The game obviously comes out holiday 2020. We saw that in the trailer, but I figured I'd throw it in here at the end. And the next info we're getting from it is coming in just a week. On May 7th, we are going to be getting the gameplay reveal from the big Xbox event. Again, Xbox has some sort of a deal. I don't know if we're going to get like DLC exclusivity early or something like that, but it's definitely leaning more towards the Xbox camp this time around. So gonna be very interesting, dude. I'm so excited for this game. I think it's gonna be so good, and I'm hyped, honestly. I'm almost obsessive at this point. So hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want more info as it comes out, I'll be happy to make additional videos. Obviously on the 7th, when we get the gameplay, we're gonna check that out. But in the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.